Okay, thank you and appreciate you. Okay, for right now, did you get a chance to do the roll call, Tanya?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's here except Don and Beverly.
Okay, how about the approval of the agenda?
That hasn't been approved.
Okay, so let's go quickly through for the approval of the agenda. And may I have a move to approve the agenda for today's meeting, April the 5th, 2022. And that needs to be corrected also, Tanya, when you get a chance to look at the agenda. We have 2021 on top of our agenda to 2022, just a minor. With that, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda with the date correction that Annie mentioned.
Okay, thank you, Dulce. May I hear a second, please?
A second.
Okay, Dr. Clark, he's seconded. Okay. All in favor at this time? May I hear ayes?
Aye.
Hearing any opposes? Okay, hearing none, this will be our working agenda with those corrections, with that noted corrections. Let's go into our minutes. Did we get a chance to, let's look at our minutes quickly. Hope everyone had time to do that. I'm gonna move it. May I have a motion for accepting the minutes?
I motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, thank you, Dulce. May I have a second, please?
I second that. Princess.
Thank you, Princess. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposes at this time? Okay, hearing none, let's move it on. I told you we're gonna get caught up. Okay, thank you all. Now, as far as the public comments, with those, did we get those done?
I do.
Who is that speaking?
I do. That's me.
State your name.
So good.
Oh, it's Cordell.
Sure. That's me. So good evening, Vice Chair Meredith, board members. My name is Cordell Hendler, and I have some fantastic news to share with you all. So I would like to invite the North Richmond MAC to the Richmond Rotary Club weekly meeting on May 6th at 12:30 p.m. at the Richmond Country Club. Our guest speakers are going to be the city manager's office to give an overview on local economic development initiatives. So put it on your calendar, May 6th at the Richmond Country Club, and lunch is $25 a person. There'll be some wonderful food there too. Yummy. And then what else? That's pretty much it.
Okay, well, thank you, Cordell. Thank you so very much for that information. Let's keep it moving. Like I said, I made everybody 10 minutes late. Okay, Tanya, the next one, our public comments. Did I miss that, or did we have anyone else for public comments?
I don't see any other.
I'll have a public comment. Yeah, I just wanted to share that I just want to promote this, that Chevron, the refinery, through our collaboration with the Castro stakeholders and the city's homeless task force, we've committed to covering the salary of a social worker. And this is through the county. So the position is going to focus on people experiencing homelessness in Richmond and North Richmond, with a specific focus on the RV encampment. So it's a full-time benefited position. I just wanted to get the word out there, and I will put the link for the posting in the comments as well. That's it.
We have one more comment too from Wyatt.
Yeah, hi, this is Wyatt Patak, North Richmond resident. And West Contra Costa churches in the area are hosting a day at the park at Nickel Park on Saturday, April 16th. We're going to have a free Easter egg hunt, free hot dogs, free hot links to the public. We'll also be sharing the gospel message as well, along with there'll be hula hoops and just a bunch of kid activities as well during that time. And I'll go ahead and put the link to the Facebook event if you guys would like to take a look at that. If you have any questions, there's a phone number and email on there. I'll also put my email on the chat too if anybody has any questions or anything like that. But yeah, everyone's welcome to come. We'll have free food and free music and entertainment as well.
The window's open. Daddy.
Okay, I have a comment and a question.
Yes.
This is Linda Woodard. The project that's going on Fred Jackson Way. You have any idea when that's going to be upgraded? Because I'm having a problem going into my driveway, safety reasons, because the rocks that they put down and the black netting is coming up. So anybody have an answer?
Okay, Tanya, can you address that?
Yeah, so we did have John Steer come last month and he told us that it would be complete by the end of March. So it's already April, and if you're still having issues, I can follow up with him, Linda, and CC you in the email.
Well, it is becoming an issue, like I said, as far as coming in my driveway and walking with my heel catching on the rocks and on the netting that they have to make my driveway accessible.
Yeah, we'll definitely follow up with him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Okay, are there any other public comments at this time? Okay, thank you. Let's move on. Okay, our law enforcement agencies report. We have any representatives from the Sheriff's Department?
I believe you're on mute, Lieutenant Rodriguez.
You would be accurate. My apologies.
Okay.
Thank you. How's everybody doing today? Thanks for having me here. As far as the report goes, the main issue that we're seeing is we're getting a lot of recovered stolen vehicles down by the encampments. We've had a couple pursuits come out of there, and then also just the recovery of the stolen vehicles, but also some of the vehicles appear to be getting stripped over there. So we're paying a lot of attention there. We have made a few arrests, which is a good thing, but it seems to be an ongoing issue. So that's where our efforts are directed right now. Any other questions for me?
Yeah, Lieutenant, this is Dr. Clark. Thanks for the report. So you indicating that there's still problems over at the homeless encampment.
Correct. That's at least that's where the recent ones have been that we've contacted folks associated with the vehicles that are being recovered.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay. So are there any other questions for our lieutenant at this time?
Yes, I have a question. Lieutenant, can you give us an idea of, let's see, do you have a department or staff that takes care of parking enforcement? I know when we have like the street sweeping, yeah, they just kind of go down like the middle of the street because the cars are still parked. So I just wanted to inquire about that.
Yes, we do have a community service officer who, amongst his other duties, parking enforcement is also part of his responsibilities. And I can ask him to pay a little bit more attention to that, especially you know, if he can look into the scheduled days for the cleanings.
Now, if I may just interject for right now, Ms. Latifa and to our lieutenant, one of the things for the county part of North Richmond, I see that I've heard that the sweepers are coming back, but do we not have someone that follows and actually tags the vehicles that are there on the day of to be removed for the street sweeper to in order to sweep the curbs? Who is that individual that we have to really be there when that occurs?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have anybody assigned as far as a scheduled assignment for that specific duty. We can try and do it on the same days based on the calendar, but unfortunately, we don't have the staffing to assign someone specifically for that role.
Okay, because I know in the past we have had someone to do that. And that's something that probably, are we affiliated with Public Works as part of their duty, or is it the mitigation? Off the top of your head, whom and what department would be responsible to probably be able to be sent back out in order to do that duty?
I can follow up with Public Works. It sounds like it'd be up their avenue as far as the responsibilities go, but I can follow up. I don't have that answer for you currently, but I will get you one.
Okay, thank you so very much. I know we had it in the past years, and I thank Ms. Latifa for bringing that up. Okay, and Tanya also, if you can help follow up with our Lieutenant Rodriguez to actually, so we can have that addressed at our next meeting or even before. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else for our lieutenant? No one at this time? Okay, do we have anyone from Richmond PD?
Yes, good evening, Lieutenant Luke.
Good evening. Okay, you're on.
Thank you. Not much to report. I will say that one of our major issues, and again, just kind of piggybacking off what Lieutenant Rodriguez said, is the Castro site. We as well have been responding to stolen vehicles in that area. Also, we've had a number of assaults that have taken place as well that we responded to and taken reports on. And again, as the lieutenant mentioned, a few pursuits that have come out of that particular area. Not to mention, which you're probably all aware of, the warming fires have been getting out of control and have engulfed a few of the RVs that are in the area. So we're working with fire. I'm not sure if they're on the call, but they're well aware of the issue as well with some of the fire hazards in that area. Myself, I'm currently on the task force for the Richmond Police Department with crime prevention, working with the stakeholders in regards to the Castro site. So I know that we're putting a plan together to implement in the very near future once the grant is accepted by the city to start that program and that process, and providing more services on a more regular basis and starting to move people into temporary and permanent housing, as well as getting them into jobs as well. One of the only other real thing is, we did see an increase in calls for service, so crimes being reported, which is a good thing, because we're aware of what's taking place and we can respond to it appropriately. We just ask for a little patience in responding in some of the lower level calls for service just because of staffing. We just can't get there as quickly as we'd like to, but we are aware of that. And we are pleased that people are actually calling and reporting crimes, because in the past we saw there was a lull for a moment there where we knew that crimes were taking place, but no one was reporting them. So we couldn't do any follow-up. There was also an emailed question from Princess regarding a specific homicide. So I wanted to give that feedback. So our homicide unit is still currently investigating that particular crime. There were a number of leads that came out of that are being looked into. I can't get into a lot of specifics because it is an ongoing case, but there has been a number of, There was a vehicle that was identified that was involved in shooting, as well as a couple of individuals that are being looked at as well. So based on the information that I received from our homicide detective sergeant, they're very close to solving this case. So they're anticipating it sometime this year, having that case closed. And if does anyone have any questions, that's all I have to report this evening.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, this is Dr. Clark. Hi, thanks for the report. But you know, as far as the homeless encampment is concerned, we've been dealing with that issue quite a long time now. You know, and I'm for doing stuff for the homeless people, but the fact is that everyone knows that it's a problem, and I don't want that problem to continue to exist there in North Richmond. Period.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Clark. And Ernest, how do we address you, as lieutenant, sergeant? I just see your name up there.
Yeah, that's because I'm keeping it informal. You can just call me Ernest, but I am Lieutenant Lucas with the Richmond Police Department, but you can just call me Ernest.
No, I'm gonna give you props. Thank you, Lieutenant Lucas. Okay, I'm
Fair enough.
just trying to figure out. No, I'm giving you props. Okay, is there anyone else? And thank you, Dr. Clark, for chiming in on that. And as you know, I've been away from a couple of the meetings that was for the homeless encampment, working with Michelle Mylan and Marina Brown and, you know, and several others, but I will be returning back. I just had a lot of personal things that I had to really get in line with, but I thank you so much for your support at this point. Okay, moving on. Items for discussion. Item 5, the MAC vacancies and appointment, and that is for Tanya, if you please.
Yes, so this was Don requested to add this to the agenda, so I can give context around, like, you know, him putting it on the agenda. But I do want to just make an announcement, and first of all, just you know, thank Lily Rahim from Chevron for her time on the North Richmond MAC. She we did ask her to vacate her seat to make room for Marta Nieto, who is a Verdi leader. And so that, I think there was some questions about the decision, and we just wanted to make the, you know, just kind of state our stance on it. You know, this is a 7-member MAC, and it's one of the bigger MACs, so that's why we couldn't extend the MAC as was asked. But we do, you know, the priority of the MAC is to put the community, to empower the community and center the community, and to advise Supervisor John Joya on decisions. And so we strongly believe that Marta is going to make that bridge between the school. We've been wanting to have more participation from the school on the MAC, and we really believe that having Marta on the council is going to really improve that and accomplish that mission. And I'm here to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Okay, well, I would like to start off after speaking with Don, and I don't think I had a chance to speak with you, but it was just the process that sort of surprised us for the chair or for any other MAC members to be a part of the selection. And this is what has been, this is why we question that, and to have Lily to be removed at this point are upon request, because she is a needed individual to be a part of the community. But we do have something for her to continue within the outreach under CHDC, if I may expound and to announce that. Lily, you are not, you have not disappeared from the community. We have you involved. We actually got in touch with you immediately in order for you to become a part of CHDC's outreach. So I just wanted to say that, and we appreciate your work that you have set on the board and been with us. As far as the individual that has been selected, is she online? Is she on Zoom with us right now?
She is not. She's actually, it's spring break and she's on vacation. I did talk to her right before the meeting. She will be here in May, and she will be a member of the council starting in May. So she'll be here.
Okay, and with that, can you give us a little information about her background as far as her coming on board? And, you know, we welcome anyone that has the task and has worked with Birdie. I worked with Birdie School for many years, and we had did a spectacular work with Birdie with the previous, some of the previous principals bringing Birdie to the top. So anyway, this individual, is her name, is it Martha? I was told, no, is it she?
Yeah, it's a she. Her name is Martha Nieto, and I met her about, I want to say like 7, 8 years ago when I started doing work in North Richmond. She was a leader with Catholic Charities, and she was doing a lot of parent leadership. And she was also assisting with a lot of events, and she continues to play a big role at Birdie. And now I see that Meryl Pierce is here. She's also Miss Pierce. She's a teacher at Birdie Elementary School and works really close with Martha. I see that her hand's up. So I'll definitely like open the floor for her to speak a little bit more about Martha. But I think most of us have worked with Martha to some capacity. You know, she leads the PTA. She's the coordinator of like almost all the events that happen at Birdie at school. And she's just such a huge advocate at the school. And she's been my kind of my bridge of communication between the school and the county. And we just realized, wow, like we're really missing a voice at the table. You know, like Birdie is really missing at the table. We want to make sure that they have a seat. And we want to empower her because we know that she empowers families, and we want to make sure that we're always centering the voices of Birdie families and North Richmond families.
Okay.
And
Well, I hope this is the same Martha that you're speaking of. I'm not sure, but if it is, she will be a great asset. If this is the same Martha that I have worked with in the years. Is it? Is King? Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's
Okay, Dr. Clark.
Dr. Clark. Okay.
Dr. Clark, well, I just want to say, I want to congratulate Lily for all of her work on the MAC, and she's certainly been a big contribution, and I appreciate her work and all. And she did come and visit me, and I appreciate that. So congratulations on wherever she continued to be on the CHDC
Board, yeah.
and whatever. So I look forward to working with her. Thank you, Lily. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Clark. Okay, Tanya, it's all yours. Go for it.
Okay, Lily's hand is up.
Yeah, I just, I want to say thank you to Dr. Clark, Annie, and just acknowledge the role that Chevron has played. You know, we came out, or I came out, I didn't come out, but I presented a couple months ago all the support that we've provided to North Richmond recently. And I think that it needs to be acknowledged that this relationship goes back years. Prior to me, my predecessor, Andrea Bailey, was heavily involved with the MAC, and we've done a lot of work, especially, you know, with those who've reached out to partner with us. I think a lot of work has been done. It's been a great place for us to get feedback on the community, to provide updates on the community. So I'm definitely going to continue supporting, of course, with the resources that I can advocate for at the refinery, continuing to support North Richmond. And yeah, I wish the new person the best of luck.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See one more hand up, Meryl.
Hi, everyone. My name is Meryl Pierce. I teach 4th grade at Verde. I'm happy to be here with everyone tonight, and just want to express my support for Martha stepping into this role. I've worked with her for 7 or 8 years, and just witnessing the impact, the positive impact that she has with students and families every single day. I can't speak enough about how amazingly she'll step into this role. And I think this is a really important collaboration to keep supporting students and families at Verde and in North Richmond.
Thank you, Meryl. Dulce, I see your hand up.
Yes. So we submitted a letter of support for Marta Nieto. And thank you, Lily, for your service on the MAC. I think, yeah, Marta is going to be an incredible person to have on the MAC. Just always supportive of the families and the school community. 5 minutes before the MAC started, I got a phone call from Marta and she was like, I really wish I could be there, but tell everyone that I look forward to joining. And so, yes, unfortunately, it is the school, or fortunately, because teachers and school staff need breaks. Marta is out with her family, but we will see her in action. And I knew Marta when she was an organizer in a previous nonprofit, and then saw her grow into her position working on issues of advocacy around local control funding formula at Verde, and then grew the parent programs, especially at the North Richmond Network. So I'm really excited to be working, or to have Marta more closely connected to the MAC.
Yeah, this is Dr. Henry Clark again. Yeah, well, I would definitely appreciate Martha coming on board to the MAC. In fact, Verde School is one of my favorite schools because I went to attended Verde School, you know, played during those particular days. We had the yo-yo, I was the yo-yo champion for Verde School, the basketball champion, the football champion. So during those particular days, we had a lot of activities going on at Verde School, and Verde has always been my favorite school. So thank you, Martha, for coming on board.
Thank you, everyone, for your kind words, and thank you, Lily. And you know, as was expressed, like we want to continue to have, you know, Chevron participate in these meetings, you know, on a monthly basis or quarterly basis or annual basis, however you see fit, you know. But it's just really important for us to continue this this collaboration and this communication with Chevron. So we'll follow up and have a meeting and kind of brainstorm how we can continue to have Chevron involved with that. And I do see one more hand up. So I guess we'll take it.
Afternoon, folks. I appreciate everyone in the room who's given love to the North Richmond community. Just want to really just echo what everyone's saying about Miss Martha. I'm a deputy director here at Urban Tilth. We have a 3-acre farm here in North Richmond, and actually Martha's come through on a couple of occasions and actually given us cooking lessons on how to make pupusas with vegetables incorporated into them in our meals. She's been at Verde in our garden helping out with our program there. So just I have nothing but good things to say about Martha. And I appreciate this you know, committee for centering, you know, Verde as a hub in the community, as a community hub, because it's really, you know, it's the only school in North Richmond, and now it's through middle school. So it's really it's a powerful place. So just appreciate all the folks involved in creating that centering around Miss Martha. And that's all I gotta say.
Okay, well, thank you, Adam, for that, and everyone that has spoke on the behalf and wishing and actually sending love of having Martha coming aboard. Now let's move on to item B, our fire department services. And Tanya.
Yes, so we did, I did collect the questions from the MAC and from residents of North Richmond. And our fire chief did let us know that he needs a little bit more time to respond to the questions. So as soon as he finalizes the responses, I will send it out to the group and share it at the next meeting.
So, is there any?
What was the, what was
Yeah,
it that you sent out, Tom? What did you send out?
So I essentially sent out, and like at the last meeting, I let everyone know if they had any questions, like to send them to me. And I followed up with the MAC, and I followed up with Anthony as a resident, and collected questions that they sent me. And I compiled them and sent them to our fire chief. And he's basically responding to those questions and needs more time. But he's working on it, and he let us know that he would have them.
Well, I spoke with Anthony and I told him not to follow up because it didn't seem like the North Richmond residents was too interested in what he was saying. And since John Joya already made the decision, I don't want him to jeopardize his job and with no backup behind him.
Right.
So that's why he's not on the call tonight. I told him to leave it alone, so you can leave it alone too.
Okay, well, I'll share the responses since we've already, made the call out and the MAC sent their questions, and we can decide at that moment, the MAC at the next meeting, whether or not we continue to pursue this. I was asked to put it on the agenda, so maybe at the next meeting we can remove it or.
Well, I just wanted to let you know, I did tell him to leave it alone. Said no support, no nothing from anybody, so we didn't care.
Well,
Thank you for that update.
well,
Okay,
hold on a minute. This is Dr. Clark. I don't know about that. I wasn't on the last meeting, but I know that when that fire station over there on Henley was proposed, I advocated for that particular station, that North Richmond needed a fire station, period. So I don't know what other people think about any fire station over there, but I'm concerned, I've always advocated for a fire station over there on Hensley, and that it would be great for the North Richmond community to have, because we did not have a fire station at that particular time. So I don't know what other people think, but I certainly advocate for that fire station, and that it should be there with all the full services.
No, I don't think it was a problem with the fire station. It was with the service. So
Right.
you would have to fill you in on that.
It's a service. You're absolutely right. And that was something, and then I do say for you to speak, because you did have some questions that was sent over to Tanya, but it was to see why that we didn't have the service equivalent to what San Pablo have. That was the question, and to have that delay. But I'm gonna talk to you, Tanya, and I would talk to Don further, because I couldn't get online. I had a problem with my Zoom when it was going on. But I understand what you're saying, Linda, and we do not want to jeopardize Anthony's position as being captain. But the question was the service, and to have the equal service the same as San Pablo, and why it wasn't there. Okay, Duce, and then I'll give it back to you, Tanya.
Okay. Yeah, my understanding, and it was a little bit hard because there was so much jargon and technical speak used. And I think it was actually like more confusing than it had to be. But my understanding is we are going to, North Richmond is going to be serviced by the newest fire station, not the one that we previously were serviced by, and that it would add a minute. So it would delay the response time by a minute. Everything else, like the CPR and all these things, like the bells and whistles, that's extra information. But what I did get is that it would delay the response time by a minute to North Richmond, and that's not fair.
That's right.
So I think I agree with Dr. Clark. It seems like communities very cares about that aspect of it. And so I'm just wondering if we can get a sense of the timeline. Could we get the responses by next week? And if that is feasible?
Yeah, I will check in with the fire chief, and I think there's someone here from fire. Look, I see some, do you want to respond to that, or I was just gonna follow up with saying that I'll follow up and make sure that we get like a timeline, or if there's anything else you want to add.
Yeah, hi, my name is Aaron McAllister. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief for Contra Costa County Fire. We are the fire service provider to unincorporated North Richmond, as well as the city of San Pablo. In terms of the North Richmond community, let me clarify a couple of things. Our dispatch center dispatches resources based on automatic vehicle locators, GPS locators. Our computer does a very quick analysis on the closest unit, and we dispatch closest unit in many, many cases. What we do have is there's a difference in the level of service that's provided by the Richmond Fire Department and the Contra Costa County Fire District. We have paramedics on every apparatus, able to do advanced life support services. And the Richmond Fire Department does not have that capability. And we believe that the residents that we serve should receive the advanced life support services whenever possible. So we have programmed our computer to tell the computer that we prefer the advanced life support resource if the difference is only less than 60 seconds. However, if it's gonna take more than 60 seconds to get our advanced life support unit, we don't dispatch that. We dispatch the Richmond resource. So we believe there's value in receiving first response advanced life support services to the community that pays for those services, and that's the unincorporated part of North Richmond. We have a good relationship with Richmond. We count on them. They go to all of our fires. They go to all of our vehicle accidents as the closest resource, period. It's a certain category of typically in-home medical emergencies that we want to send that advanced life support resource to if we can. If it's greater than 60 seconds, you're going to get the closest unit no matter who it is. We are assembling those responses. I've been part of preparing that response, and some of it involves data research that we've been able to collect and assemble that data. So we're in the process of putting all that together, and we will provide that in written form for the MAC.
Okay, all right, thank you. Are there any other comments at this time? Okay, if not, well, Tanya, your task is to, to reconvene and get some more answers for us and bring it back to us, okay?
I'll do that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on to item 6, our presentations and proclamations. A presentation by West County Wastewater Energy Project, and who will be speaking? Tanya, do you have the presenter?
Yes, it's me. My name is Keith Reynolds. I'm Senior Project Manager, West County Wastewater.
And Keith, you can share your screen. You can.
Oh, I can? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me try to do that in a second. Sorry. Okay. Can you all see that? See my screen now?
No, I cannot, and I'm the chair. I don't now.
I'm sorry.
Let's see.
Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
How about anyone else? Yes.
Okay. So as I said, my name is Keith Reynolds. I'm a senior project manager here at West County Wastewater. Thank you all for allowing me to speak to you today. This is my 4th or 5th time being able to do this, and I appreciate each time. And so today I want to talk to you about a very big project. It's the largest project West County has ever endeavored. And I'm managing that project internally. It's about $79 million project, and it is to retrofit the wastewater treatment plant to become a cogeneration plant. And we've dubbed the project the Clean and Green Project. And so I'm gonna go to the next slide here, which you should see. So we have something, a project vision. Our purpose of this project is to reduce energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions and to improve operational safety and efficiency and to improve the quality of biosolid production that are produced at the water treatment plant. Essentially, right now, the process of cleaning wastewater creates a lot of greenhouse gases. And then if you aren't prepared as a water treatment plant, you will not be able to capture these. You have to burn them off essentially or waste them. And currently what this project is seeking to do is to gather those greenhouse gases, convert them to energy so that all the operations within the treatment plant are now ran off the energy that is produced by the waste that we create. And so then the plant becomes independent and independent of PG&E and other entities of that nature. Not just that, we also are installing photovoltaic panels to increase our electricity production and hopefully reduce our consumption of PG&E provided energy. So the next slide here, what is a cogeneration plant? So essentially the cogeneration plant uses a couple processes, heat, and also uses the capture of gas to create this energy. So when wastewater comes to our plant, we clean it. It goes something called a primary clarifier. The clarifier collects this, what we call the solids. The solids will fall to the bottom of that clarifier. We suck those solids off. What we call it at that point called a sludge. That sludge goes to something called a digester. You'll see there's number 4 on the picture that I have there. And when it goes there, it ferments and it creates the greenhouse gas methane. And that methane is now taken from the digester into a cogeneration generator. And the generator burns that gas through a turbine and it creates electricity, which is used throughout the plant for our processes, for our biological processes, and for just turn on our lights every day. And so that's how a cogeneration plant works, and how to use existing waste to create something that's functional throughout the plant and throughout West County facilities. Current status, we are in the 30% design phase has been complete. This has been the first design build project, and what that means is a contractor was chosen to do the design and create do the construction of the project. Normally, what happens is a designer is gotten on board, they're paid, they design a project, then we go out to something called public bid and go bid the project out to whoever can come and was able to do the project. This one we did it in-house, so we were able to have savings for the community. If we were to do this in the traditional sense, it would cost maybe 20-30% more than what we were actually paying to get something like this done. And it also would incur more risk on the ratepayer and the district or West County than it would in this fashion. This fashion, the contractor holds all risk, whether it is cost increases due to the pandemic or whatever that may be. They hold that risk, and so that's why we're able to do this. The one thing I want to talk about on this slide is we've kind of mobilized to the site. And so essentially what's happening now is they're doing a soft mobilization, what we would call it, where they're setting up their trailers and things of that nature to start the major construction. And the first major construction portion of this is to demolish the old digesters. These digesters are 1950s era digesters. And we're going to demolish those and build new ones in their place that are more efficient, larger, and have more gas capacity. They're able to produce more gas so that we're able to embark on this cogeneration path that we're moving in the industry and as a district. So some upcoming deliverables. I just want to show you guys what we're doing here. We had health and safety plans, monitoring plans for environmental purposes, for public safety. All these different things are completed and evaluated. In March, they were all completed. That's why we're able to mobilize to the site. We did not want them to mobilize until those things are completed. You'll see the demolition, as I said, will start here probably within 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. That'll probably last about 2 to 3 months. And at that point, you'll have about a year's process to create the new digesters that will be in our treatment plant. The most exciting thing I want to talk to you about is this slide here. Okay, so I grew up in Oakland, California, and I grew up in an area that did not have, doctors and scientists and things of that nature, right? So how I got involved in STEM education is because of a program called MESA, and MESA introduced me to science. And then also I had a teacher named Mr. Thomas, who was my science teacher, who got me interested in it, right? And so part of this project, the biggest part of this project, in my opinion, is our community outreach. We're gonna actually engage our local community, our ratepayers, and their children to kind of get them involved in wastewater. When I went to college, I went to San Jose State. I was the only African American in my class of 300 in a chemistry class. We want to eliminate that, right? We want to have more minorities, more people in these fields. And to do that, West County has embarked on something we call community impact. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a comprehensive internship program. It's going to be centered around Contra Costa College, and we're going to have people come in who may be interested in wastewater. Maybe they're interested in PR, but that's a wastewater industry position. They'll be able to come into the district. They'll be able to learn what we do. West County has a very diverse staff, which is in this industry is very different. I mean, I've had regulators come in and actually cried at how diverse we are. I'm not kidding. So this is a very great opportunity to find impacted communities and have them come and learn a new industry that most people don't even know about, and give them an experience in it and allow them to kind of flourish. And they can use us as individuals as sounding boards and, to move forward how they need to move forward in their career. There'll be curriculum integration to local campuses and to high schools, right? So high schools, elementaries, we're going to want to go there and want to kind of have different experiences with the children, to kind of show them about different science things, how digested sludge works, how we create greenhouse gases, how they're used. There'll be lesson plans and actual activities created, and they'll be distributed to different schools within the district and maybe even some outside, depending on. This is a new thing. Not many people are able to have done this kind of outreach as we're doing. And so we're still working in the infant stages of it. It'll probably get off the ground next year or so. But this is something that's very important to our general manager, Lisa, as well as everyone here at the district, including myself. The last thing is something called a Civic Sparks Fellow. Civic Sparks Fellow is most times a master's degree level participant. They come into the district and they kind of work in a certain capacity. I think in this capacity, what's going to happen here, they're going to work closely with individuals that directly affect the project that we're creating, or any kind of levy issue. We're going to increase our levy size so that we can increase the arable land that is around the district. So it's more of an environmental benefit than anything. So they'll be able to come in and work on those things. And that's a very good, and these are paid internships, by the way. So that's a paid internship, very competitively paid internship. So you get a quality person that'll be able to come in and affect us in an environmental way. My next slide here kind of shows where the area of disturbance is. You'll see in a green box, those are our digesters that will be demolished. There's a smaller white circle you'll see there. That's an old gas container that used to hold gas at our plant many, many years ago. That will be demolished as well, and a large building will be placed there that would hold the heater that creates that dries the sludge that is already digested. And that sludge would then go to landfills. Eventually, it will also go to farms and things of that nature. It'll be that clean. So it'll be able to be pelletized and used as fertilizer. Next couple of slides just show how we're going to increase our photovoltaic capacity. These are something called drying beds. And right now, sludge goes into these sometimes. If we have too much flow comes into the plant, we'll bring them to these ponds here. And so what we'll do is we're going to create photovoltaic panels or raise them higher so that we still can use them for the functions that they are, but they'll also be able to gather solar energy, and they'll be able to provide it to PG&E's grid as well as our treatment plant. Here's another photo of our, sorry, of our main office. All the parking structure will now be covered as well with photovoltaic panels. So this is part of the project as well. Our next slide just kind of shows about who's involved on the project team here. It's a large number of people. Just so you know, there's people from whether construction management to project management to environmental. We're all working together to kind of get the best product here. And this is something the residents within the West County should be very proud, because not a lot of people are able to do this, and not a lot of people take the the initiative to do something like this. It's very exciting. So I'll be open to any questions you may have, and I'll be able to hopefully answer them for you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reynolds. We're open for questions, and I know probably Dr. Clark have some questions, but I would like to jump in to start it off, Mr. Reynolds. Thank you for your presentation. I have a few questions about your internship. I didn't really gather what was the age for these individuals to actually take on this internship, and how do they get in contact with you? Do you have outreach to come into the schools? What is going, how do you connect?
So the internship is going to be mostly Contra Costa College level. So I guess 18 and up. Right now there's going to be, there's a meeting or something with enrollment or someone at Contra Costa College that's going to happen for us to kind of set up a pipeline to be able to do this. Currently, this is for the level of the project, but our general manager wants to make this something that's consistent and happens more like all the time. And so we're going to we have to work with the college to kind of create that funnel the talent to us that may be interested in this industry, but it'll be centered around Contra Costa College. The educational things will be more centered around high school, elementary, middle school.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. And the other question, over the past, we have had a representation from the director that actually covers North Richmond and the district to actually filter this information to us. And from my understanding, from one of the directors that had contacted me last week, that we do not have any representation for right now for the District of North Richmond. Now, by knowing this, would you or do you or whoever, will you be attending and keeping us abreast of what's going on at this point, since you are the project manager? Who do we have in place in order to filter this information out to us due to not having a representative, a director to cover North Richmond at this time?
I can't really speak to the director issue. I think that's more of a board of directors issue that they're having. But I, as a project manager, is more than willing to speak to you about any issues you may have or questions you may have concerning this project. I do plan on coming to you regularly, maybe not every month, but it'll be regularly to kind of give you updates on the project, how this impacts you, especially once we get the community service portion that's off the ground and have it moving. I want you to be aware of what's happening, and I want you to be able to push individuals that you guys know towards these opportunities. So I will definitely be here, and also be a lady named Kate Gibbs, she's head of our PR here at the district. So she will probably also be participating with me in those conversations. However, as a project manager, I definitely will be able to reach out to you, and I plan on doing so.
Very good. Well, we welcome you. We actually welcome you. Okay, do we have any questions or comments?
Yeah, this is Dr. Clark. Thanks
Dr.
a lot.
Clark.
Thanks for the presentation. I'm glad to see that there's some modernization improvements happening with the project. I know that I was involved with the project from the very beginning when it first started.
Mhm.
And think that the particular time Chevron was involved in the project. Are they still involved in the project?
They're involved or more peripheral. It's primarily us. It's just West County, pretty much. Our partners are involved because of our supply of water and things of that nature to them. But the design and construction is all West County.
Okay, well, that's good. Good to hear that. And you said that West County at the present time do not have a representative for whatever reason. Is that correct?
That is correct. I had I had a couple of the directors to give me a call. I'll put it like that. And by having this call to understand that a lot of things are going on at the director's level. But right now we do not have a representation for North Richmond.
Okay, so you're saying that Lisa McIntosh is not representing North Richmond at the moment.
This is wastewater, Dr. Clark. This is the wastewater. This isn't our water, East Bay Mud. This is wastewater. My affiliation with wastewater. Mr. Reynolds is from wastewater.
Okay, wait there with that's
correct, Mr. Reynolds?
Yes, we're West County wastewater.
Wastewater. We had, okay, go ahead.
Okay, that's okay. We'll deal with that later.
Right, we'll talk about that later. Okay, but yes.
May I ask a question?
Yes, you may, Latifah.
Okay. So I saw that you had a process group at the bottom, and you also mentioned a person coming in with regard to the levy. And so I know that the Watershed Project is currently having meetings. We actually just went out to a site last Wednesday, and we're going to another site next Wednesday. So I just wanted to make sure that, I mean, as far as I know, that I think as part of that group is about 14 Richmond residents. And it usually about 30, maybe 20, 24, 25 people attend every Wednesday, but I think 14 are part of the North Richmond residents. So just want to make sure that there's like not a big overlap and that everyone is on the same page. It might be helpful to have like everything that's going on in North Richmond in one place. That might be helpful. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, just so you know, this project, the levy is not associated with this project specifically. The intern may just come in and work on that a little bit, but the project itself is not with the levy. Once that scope has been created, they are going to reach out more to the community to involve them. So they definitely agree.
I see. Thank you.
Okay.
I think it's one more question.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mills. I see you do say you have a question. And again, we're speaking of Country Culture West County wastewater. This is his presentation. This is not the watershed. This is the wastewater. Okay, do say.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. And my partner attended San Jose State, so I'm a big fan of San Jose State. And he studied in the biotech field, so another field that is highly underrepresented by Black, Brown, Indigenous people of color. I'm curious to know, I know you mentioned most of the programs will be towards the like middle school PhD level. Is there a way, or is it too late to incorporate, for example, adopt a student at Verdi to really think through how do we also engage the elementary school students, especially as they are so close to the site plan, or they can also learn so much. They're at a very, I think North Richmond has a lot of students who can learn a lot by the community impact that you want to have.
So there is a component for those level, those
Yes, it
ages of
is.
children. So they're going to have we're going to have like educational resources, different activities for them to do to learn about different science and engineering type of things. There also will be plant tours that will happen once COVID has calmed down. At the conclusion of construction, you'll be able to walk the site after they've learned the lesson plans and things of that nature, and to see actually how the gas is created and the kind of equipment that are being installed to do so. So there will be site walks and field trips they'll be able to come to. And because North Richmond is definitely, I mean, that's one of the schools, the only school in North Richmond, I'm sure that they'll be on the list, and I'll make sure that they're reached out to.
Yeah, I mean, my last question, I think it relates to Latifah's, is just around, so the project management. So you're the project manager for this specific project, and I'm assuming there's another project manager who will be working around collaborating on the living levy of North Richmond. Is that correct? And so will you both be able to interchange or interact with each other, as well as the residents, as both of these projects happen? I'm assuming they'll happen simultaneously at some point as well.
Currently, I don't think they will. The levy will happen after my project is complete. So we have some interaction, as colleagues, back and forth. I have some interaction because their project does impact mine in certain aspects. So we kind of work together in that aspect, but they will manage that project themselves. And when it gets to a greater scope, a more defined scope, they will definitely reach out to community. That's normally how things work. They're kind of siloed apart from that.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, so if there's no other comments or questions for Mr. Reynolds.
I have one other question.
Oh, Dr. Clark? Okay.
In terms of the recruitment of the project, I would suggest that he contact Lily because Lily at Chevron, they have a STEM work program, and I think she may be able to offer some contribution to the project.
Yeah, I'd be happy to have that conversation and to continue to explore that for sure. Definitely support a lot of STEM programs. North Richmond, we support the MESA program at CSU East Bay. So yeah, they're a very good fit there.
Okay, definitely. I'll definitely pass that along. I left my contact in there, Lily, and you can, definitely message me.
Now.
Yeah. And then I will definitely maybe get together with you, Kate, and the United States North America is the company that we're working with, and we are working with them to create these lesson plans and things of that nature. So we'll definitely work to bring you in.
Okay, well, thank you so very much for your presentation, and thank everyone for their questions and their comments. Okay,
thank you all.
You're welcome. So let's move on, Tanya, to the next presentation by the Watershed Project.
Yes, and Paula's here to do the presentation.
Okay, Paula.
Hello, nice to be here and see everyone. And I'm glad that Latifah and Dulce asked some questions of Keith Roberts, because I am also involved in the horizontal levee project that and we have a field trip tomorrow, and I think it's awfully late notice to invite Mr. Reynolds to come and talk to us about the work, but it sounds very exciting and very aligned with some of the discussions that we're going to be launching into as we talk about how to design multiple benefit projects for North Richmond. So definitely would like to, collaborate to the extent that it makes sense. So with that, I'll go ahead and share my screen and talk a little bit about our Hope Gardens project. Just one second. How is the video for everyone? Can you see well enough?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is not the first slide. Let me go back to the cover slide. The Hope Gardens, as we call them, of North Richmond are now in their 4th year. We're really grateful to the Mitigation Committee for funding this project for 4 years now. And for those of you who've been on the MAC for a while, some of this may be a little familiar, but I just wanted to again talk about why we're doing this. And it's to involve North Richmond residents in beautifying their block, their street. It fosters a sense of pride in your block to see something pretty. And it sets an example. So that's the reason for the project. It also creates habitat for bees and butterflies and other insects. And we are hoping that once there are some nice gardens, it will encourage people to spend more time outside and get out and walk. These are just some slides that show sort of some of the other gardens that we have planted over the years and some of the people who have adopted gardens. There are also North Richmond residents who've been involved in the actual planting, and we've been paying them stipends now. So this is actually an extension of an earlier project where we recruited people to keep their block clean. Now it's more keeping their block green. And what we do to identify homes is just literally kind of go out, put flyers up on telephone poles, hang them right on doors. You can see people are installing these gardens in that narrow strip that's between the street and the sidewalk. And not every block has the potential for these gardens. So it's a little bit selective in terms of where we're able to plant these gardens. But the outreach is an extremely critical part of what we do, is just to try to get to know people. This is what we planted last year. And it has been really a joyful experience to do this with folks in the community, to really plant something that brings a smile to their faces. And it's just a way to be connected with the earth and with the community both. So this year we're going to plant 5 additional gardens, and that will bring the total to 20. We're trying to sort of connect existing gardens to the new gardens. One resident said that her neighbor inspired her to want a garden and was really happy that she was able to participate this year and adopt a garden. We, as you saw from some of these previous slides, we're wearing masks. For 2 years in a row now, we planted during COVID times. And this year we're hoping to engage more volunteers, and we are going to be working with some Salesian High School students, planting our first garden of the year on April 8th. That's exciting for us to be able to involve more volunteers as opposed to just staff. We're also, we've learned some things along the way about which plants do really well. And also last year, we really didn't have a chance to talk to people face to face. And this year we were able to share with them in person what kinds of plants they really prefer. So I think it'll be the best year ever for that. This is just a diagram to kind of indicate where it is that we're planting again. It's, most of the planting areas are not particularly wide. 2 feet is pretty common. Sometimes it varies a lot. But now this is sort of like a smallish area, but we'll be planting, in that little strip. And I put this out here so that if you have a space like this, give us a call and send me an email. And really what we're looking for are people who have the space and just like gardening, you need to be able to do a little bit of watering, especially during the really hot, dry months. After a couple of years, the plants really don't need any more water. They'll be well established. We select plants that are drought tolerant, so they should be able to do fine on their own. We prepare each site prior to planting by stripping away all the weeds, and we dig down a good 2 to 3 inches. So the weeds are that are likely to come up are more just blown in from maybe a neighbor's yard. And they're usually easy to pull up, but they will come, their seeds, weed seeds are really hard to extinguish totally. So a little bit of weeding will keep them looking nice. There's mulch is very important to keeping the plants healthy, and it preserves a lot of water if you have it all mulched. And there's just a very simple 1-page application form that we ask people to complete. So that's kind of all I had about the Hope Gardens. As I said, if you are interested, please feel free to send me an email. Or if you're a Spanish speaker, Eunice, who also goes by Q, will take your question. And when I'm done, I can put our contact information in the chat. And before wrapping up, I wanted to also just mention a couple of other projects that are coming up very soon. There is a stenciling and painting project to demarcate the safe routes to school that the Watershed Project and County Environmental Health and Tanya and many others have been working on together. And it's to improve the safety of the sidewalk. And it's a complement to this kind of Hope Gardens thing. It's just to make the sidewalks a lot more inviting, colorful, and safe. So there's going to be a cleanup on Friday, April 22nd. And then the next day, there will be a painting day. That same day, there is going to be a creek cleanup at Wildcat Creek. And I want to just thank Lily, who reached out to me today, actually, to find out whether Chevron volunteers would be able to participate, and indeed they can. So we're grateful for their support, not just this year, but for many years now with creek cleanups. And then lastly, I want to invite people who have any concerns about their tap water quality to reach out to us and get their tap water quality tested. We will take a sample from whichever tap you use the most. For most people, it's the kitchen sink. Put it in a little vial. That goes back to a lab. And at the same time, we'll just ask some questions that will capture any kind of experiences you've had with your water looking discolored, maybe an odor, any sort of issues that you may have. And we'll also ask you whether you use bottled water, perhaps because you don't trust your tap water. And we're going to be doing some data analysis and present findings to all the people who got their water quality tested. It's absolutely free. And in fact, if you participate, we will give you a $25 Target gift card. So if that's of interest to you, please reach out. And with that, I'll go back to the question slide. Open it up for any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you, Paula. Do we have any questions for Paula at this time? Okay, we're hearing none. Well, I have a question. Well, do say between you and I guess we have the conversations going on. So I'll let you go
for it, Annie.
I can let you go ahead and I can pick up next. Go ahead, Ducey.
Okay, Paula, this is a quick question. Is there a map currently that identifies, like a public map or even an internal map that you can share that shows the current sites of the gardens and the projected gardens as well, if that's available?
There isn't now, but I can make one in about, an hour. That I'm happy to share with you, Dulce. Maybe give me a few days because it's just a little bit busy this week, but that's a very good idea. We do have a map of all the trees that we planted in North Richmond, but we don't yet have one for the gardens, but that's a great idea.
Excellent. Yeah, and I only think about that because there's a lot of great community efforts happening all across North Richmond as it relates to environmental justice, the environment, growing Richmond greener. And so it just makes me curious to know, where are these gardens? How can we find them? And how is it overlapping with all of the other amazing work that other people are doing? So thanks, Paula. I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I see Ducey and I had the similar question, because my question to you, Paula, was for us, did you have anything in place for the locations for us to see the sites and to visit right now? I noticed that from some of the pictures that looked like they were on Alamo, identifying some of the streets, and it looked like it was not too far from North Richmond Baptist Church. So I just want to more or less reiterate what Dulce had mentioned. I would like to also have some type of mapping of the sites so we can actually physically go and see those works.
Well, I'm writing this down. And it is a wonderful idea. And I can share that with, I don't know who's the best person to share the map with. I guess Dulce's on the Mac, is that right?
Well, yes, share it with Tanya, so Tanya can let everyone on the Mac see it, and also the community that are, that are on Zoom, so they be able to see them also. They may have a spot that they would like to have innovated. So I see an iPad. Tanya, do you recognize the iPad? The hand is up.
I see it too, I do not, but they can speak now.
Okay. Well, let's go to Jesse.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica, and yeah, I just had a question. Thanks for the information, Paula. You mentioned, I think, that you were going to start one of those 5 gardens April 8th, maybe?
Yes, it's Friday.
Okay. If you need, I work with the North Richmond Mobile Tool Library, so we have a lot of tools, and we want to help with beautification projects. So if I don't know what your needs are, but we're around, and so this Friday is a little bit soon, but I don't, if you've got some more plantings that are going to be happening spaced out, just keep us in mind.
Absolutely. I've been meaning to try to connect with you and talk about that.
Okay, I wrote your information down, Paula, so I have it now.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, well, I think the iPad is coming on. Is that Katie? We can't hear you.
Unmute, Katie.
Katie, you have to unmute. Well, I tell you what, as soon as she keep working on it, we're gonna keep moving on and she can come in. She could come in, but we're gonna keep it moving, okay? But as soon as she gets it straightened out, we'll have her to chime back in, okay?
Video, share, and all that, and click unmute.
Okay, Linda?
Oh,
do you know what she was gonna speak on? You have no idea?
No, I don't. I want to know about the water. Once they do the testing, if they determine that my water is messed up, what are they prepared to do about it? How can they help us fix it? Did you hear?
Did you hear? Okay, she was asking about testing of the water.
Yes, I heard the question, and it is actually a very, very interesting question. And it sort of depends on what the issue is with the water, and I'm definitely not sure what will be done. And I think what we're first trying to figure out is whether there's a health concern. And then beyond that, if there is just, like, a lot of people have experienced rusty kind of color, brownish color in pipes. And that's often just iron, which isn't super harmful for people, but it is off-putting. It doesn't really look pleasant to drink. So there are lots of ways in which water can be unappealing, but not necessarily unsafe. So the first step is just to understand, from the analysis that the lab does, is there a health concern? And then secondly, why would it look funny, smell funny, taste funny? What would be the causes for those things? So we're just really trying to answer, like, what's going on first before we jump to any kind of solutions, because we still don't even know what's going on yet.
Okay, all right, thank you, Paula. Okay, Tanya.
Okay,
let's move into our agencies and programs, okay?
Okay, perfect. The first one is the city of Richmond. I don't know if Stephanie's here or another representative. I don't see Stephanie on, so I think we can move on to the next, which is Shields Reed Neighborhood Council.
Okay, do we have Marina? Do we have Marina?
I don't see Marina either.
Okay.
So we'll go to the next, which is me.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so good evening, everyone. There's a lot of really exciting projects happening in North Richmond. Of course, what was already mentioned is Earth Day, and there's a big focus on the safe routes to school at Verdi School from Verdi School to Shields Reed. And it's part of a larger initiative that we are collaborating with multiple nonprofits and county staff and city to, like, how do we improve the safe routes to school. And I'm happy to announce that the board order has gone through to approve stop signs on Garamita, at Grove and Silver. And so that's just part of the initiative, the larger initiative to, like, how do we make it more pleasant for the kids to walk along this route? And as part of this larger initiative as well, the county is applying to a grant. It's called the Active Transportation Grant Project, and we are collecting surveys. And so we will be distributing those surveys at the Earth Day activities on the 22nd and the 23rd. And this grant is meant to make improvements along Market, Yoramita, and Chesapeake. So we're looking at those streets for improvement with a focus on Market. And so, yeah, please look out for the survey. I will share it once we have an electronic version of it. But this is definitely one of our focuses right now, is just improving the safe route to school. And I did want to give an update on Viola. Like I've met with the city, we've met with the city, we have candidates. We are still in the process of design, like how do we want to distribute the funds? So I am working with the city on that, and we still have the goal of distributing those funds this year. And I will make announcements, each meeting on the Viola grant, just to kind of keep us moving. And yeah, I think those are the big updates for me. And then I want to open it up, pass the baton on my section to Doria, because I know there's a lot of updates. Urban Tilt is doing some great work, so I want to allow Doria to kind of give some updates.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for the time. I just wanted to just bring the news from the North Richmond Farm and from Urban Tilt activities. We've been really busy. One of the biggest things we've done recently is we did a free fruit tree giveaway at Verde Elementary School. So we gave away 150 fruit trees to folks to plant in their own yards, to bring home the kind of magic that happens at Verde Elementary. It has 17 fruit trees there that we maintain and grow fruit, distribute fruit from. So now 150 North Richmond families have new trees of their own. This is the first year that we've done it at Verde. We've been doing it on the Richmond Greenway for 4 years. So it's the first year that we brought it to North Richmond. So we're excited to keep doing it. It was really well received. We had a line down the block, which we're going to work on for next year, because that line was a little too long. We'll try to figure out ways to make it go faster, but it's hard for people to pick their tree. And then I also wanted to just share that we're going to be continuing our free farm stand that happens every Thursday on Fred Jackson Way. And, that's all organic produce from our farm and from 7 partner farms. They're all BIPOC farms run by Black, Indigenous, Latinx folks, all certified organic, high quality produce for free. Just step up to the farm stand, get whatever you want, and go on. We're excited about continuing that. And I think we're going to be having flowers at the farm stand coming up, because we're harvesting cut flowers. We got beautiful bouquets right now. So there'll be some flower bouquets. So you get some free, very high quality bouquets out there as well. And then just other updates is we have our Festival of Flowers Mother's Day event coming back to the farm in May. So it's going to be happening on Saturday, May 7th. So bring your mom out. We usually give away hundreds of bouquets of flowers to give to the mother in your life. We make flower crowns and have a bunch of gifts that you can, either make yourself or give away, or get to give away to the moms in your life, and have like a free brunch for the moms and everything. So this is going to be actually the last community event we have at the farm for a while, because after so long, we're actually going to be starting construction on the farm in June. So we won't be able to have community events during the construction time, but the first buildings and that beautiful design that everyone's been looking at for so many years is actually finally going to start being built in June. So please do join us for the Mother's Day event. It's going to be a sweet thing. And after that, we're transitioning to this collective vision that we've been nurturing and holding and whatnot. And finally, I just wanted to invite everyone to either learn more or sign our petition. The farm is under threat right now from a 4-story development that's going in right next door to the farm that threatens to shade our farm and cut out 4 hours of sunlight every day, which is a lot for growing food. It'll reduce our capacity to grow food. And also they're planning on bringing over 150 vehicles to the site next door. The crowd, our tiny roads, bring more air pollution. So if you want to learn more about this, what's going on at the North Richmond Farm, what's going on in North Richmond, because this is actually one of 6 massive developments that are going in all around the farm, all bringing hundreds, if not thousands of vehicles. You can learn more at our website, and I'll put a link in it. We have a campaign going on right now to raise awareness about what's going on called No Shade. So we have a petition there too, if you want to sign it, and you can learn more. There's a lot of information on our website. You can learn about it. So thank you so much for the time. I hope to give more regular updates about all of our projects as we keep going, keep in touch with the MAC. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorian. And I'd just like to jump in before Latifa speak. If we can put her back, Dorian, we'd like to thank you for coming back so we can continue to add you back on the list, okay? We missed you. So yes, please, we have to have her added back,
Okay, I will add.
Definitely too. So Latifa.
Yes, ma'am. 2 questions. I wanted to get a summary of what the Viola grants are. And then also wanted to know, Ms. Doria, if will the CSA continue during construction? Thanks.
So I think Doria just answered the second question, that the CSA will continue. And then in regards to the Veolia grant, this is something that was advocated for in North Richmond in the Iron Triangle, and it's like a community benefits agreement, essentially a pot of funding. Dr. Henry Clark played a huge role in securing those funds. And it's basically an allocated amount to the Iron Triangle in North Richmond that is given every year by Viola. Viola is right here on Hensley Street. And the grant, was released and funds were distributed, and due to not being able to fill the panel seats that decide who the funding goes to, for a couple of years, it wasn't, the grant wasn't being released or distributed. So it's been collecting, the city of Richmond has it in this dedicated account, no one touches it, but as a result, it's been collecting. And so we did some outreach to recruit some panelists and some candidates, that can apply. And so far we have about 12 people who have agreed to apply to be part of this commission. And so now we're just really figuring out, like, what is the process? How much do we distribute the first year, second year, third year? Because right now it's a bigger pot, because we haven't distributed in a while. But once, we distribute those funds, and it'll go back to its regular pot, which is about $25K a year. And I can have something to share next month in writing, so it's easy for everyone to access.
So Tanya, if I don't know if Dr. Clark would like to share anything on that for right now, since he was one of the originators of really being on the Viola committee, and along with me joining him, but I don't know if he wants to expound any on that, and if so, he has the floor to do so, but if he doesn't feel like it at this time, we'll keep it moving.
Yeah, just keep it moving, because like I said, I particularly was part of creating the fund, and I know that at one point they were looking for a business person to be on the committee that was the hold up, and I just leave it there. I'm not particularly interested in being on the committee or the one at the moment.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Clark, for sharing that. Okay, and if I may, just for Community Housing Development Corporation, I don't see any report out for Janine for the Multicultural Center. And if we can have her, since it's under CHDC, if she wants to bring in her report, and then we'll hear from CHDC mitigation. So Janine, if you would like to present now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, everyone. Well, I have good news. The Growing Wiser group will have their Easter breakfast this Saturday. So, Linda, do you know if we have any tickets still available? Are you on?
Yes, we do.
So if you all could come out and support this breakfast, that would be wonderful. We're gonna have bacon, sausage, eggs, biscuits, and juice. And am I missing? And grits. So at 9 o'clock. How much are the tickets again, Linda?
The tickets is $8. I don't hear Linda. Hello, Linda?
Okay, they're $8. So if you all are in the area, please come out and support the Growing Wiser Easter breakfast. And then the next thing, we still have our bingo exercise. You can come join us. It starts at 12:30, right after lunch. Please also come and join us for lunch. We have lunch Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 12:30. We still have our food bank that is active. And at this time, I would really like to introduce, Madam Chair, if that's okay, our new Director of Community Building and Engagement, Daryl Davis. And if we can give him the opportunity to say a little bit about himself, Madam Chair.
Yes, please do.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. I started last week, Tuesday, so Ms. Holland has been giving me everything possible to catch up, and it's a lot. And so I'm looking forward to working with all of you and attending these meetings. Prior to coming here, I was the executive director of an organization called Transform in Alameda County, Oakland. We did a lot around transportation and affordable housing. We also were responsible for the Alameda County Safe Routes to Schools program. And yeah, that's a little bit of my background. I'm from New York City. I went to Florida A&M University. I got my master's in Affinity from Liberty University, and I have a master's in public policy as well. And so I'm just excited to be coming here to do this kind of work that I was doing my whole life growing up in New York. And also I coach girls varsity basketball at the Climates in West Oakland. So doing a lot. So just nice to meet everybody. Look forward to seeing you.
Well, thank you and welcome aboard.
Yeah, once again, my name is Daryl Davis, and I look forward to, and thank you.
Okay. I guess, Tanya, now on mitigation.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I just want to inform everybody that we're gonna celebrate Earth Day on April 23rd. It'll be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll be having projects. We'll have two projects. We'll have the Wall Creek cleanup, and they'll meet up at the Little A's ballpark at 9 a.m. We'll also have the Garavita the Stencil project, and they'll be meeting up at the Verde School. And we'll also have a drive-through bag pickup at Little A's Park. That'll be from 11 to 12 p.m. We'll be having bags with resources and goods from all our organization partners. We'll also be having the Woody Spruce cleanup on April 30th from 8 to 12:30 p.m. We have 6 different locations that they'll be in North Richmond. And if there's any disabled residents or seniors, you guys can get in contact with Tiffany for Wednesday, April 29th, for to get the curbside pickup. For both of these events that are happening, the flyers have been sent out. Our ambassadors have picked them up, and so they should be done by the end of this week. Another thing too is that tomorrow we'll be having our North Richmond Green meeting from 9:30 to 10:30 as well. Thank you.
Okay, Tanya, we had a couple of questions in the chat to clarify for Ms. Latifah. One was about the donations and where could she make the donations? And also where was the breakfast site? Where the site is at the Multicultural Center where Janine had just spoke, 515 Silver. And it's from 10 o'clock to 2, or correct me, I know it starts at 10 o'clock. So it is actually on the 9th, this coming Saturday. Okay,
It's
so
10
I hope that, yes, go ahead, Linda.
It's 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and we're having a fashion show along with the Easter breakfast.
Okay, did everybody get that? Yes, okay. And just quickly, if I may, for our mitigation coordinator, it was sort of hard to hear with speaking, I guess it's the echo in the, you know, but that's something that technology will take care in the future. But as far as the senior pickup, did you mention anything about the senior pickup? Did I hear, did I just miss that?
I actually did. I've said that you guys have to, it's April 27th. In order, you guys have to get in contact with Tiffany. Her number is 510-231-3010. If you could put it in the chat, Tanya, please, like that they know. It's 510-231. Yeah.
And if you can put that in the chat for everybody to hear, you know, just that comment for the senior pickup, okay? So, thank you, and let's keep moving on. Okay, Tanya, the next one, Richmond Land.
Richmond Land.
Cool. It's me. Sorry, I was eating something. Just really quickly want to announce that we got a Love Your Block grant in order to do some work in the proper city side. We are going to do something hopefully in the green lawn next to the Shields Reed Community Center sometime in the summer. In terms of what we're doing, we are also hosting a membership meeting on April 14th. And if you're interested, you can reach out to Kendall, and I'll put Kendall's contact information. Kendall is our base builder. And Richmond Land is a membership guided organization working on the community land trust model. I think that's pretty much it for now. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Dulce. Okay, next is our cooperative, Richmond. And that's our dear Princess. Is she still on?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Princess. Okay.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Princess Robinson. I am one of the project managers for Cooperation Richmond. Just a few little updates is that our co-op free virtual monthly co-op cafes are still happening. It is all in the newsletter and how to register as well to be a part of those co-op cafes. But basically to learn more about the cooperative model and what Cooperation Richmond does, we help residents launch cooperative enterprises. We also have office hours available for business insights. So just any type of, resources that you need on business, how to run your business, open your business, still maintain your business, whatever the case may be. We also have local partnerships available as well. And resources for those out there. So I'll put that information in the chat. Thank you all for tonight's meeting. It was great. And I hope to see y'all at our monthly co-op cafes. If y'all know anybody that is trying to start a business or interested in our services, please, please, please give me a holler. I'm gonna put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Princess. Okay, well, thank you all for putting up with me this evening. And with that, we're gonna adjourn the meeting and hope to see you all next Tuesday, May the 3rd, 2020. Thank you so very much for your participation and good evening.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you, everyone.
Nice meeting you. Oh, no, it's hard to talk about. Thanks.
Someone's good too.
Latifa,
I didn't say again. Can I just wanted to know if there's a current contact for the quality of life plan.
Oh, you know what's my volume?
Huh? Can you
Okay.
hear me? Yeah, I just wanted to know if there's a current contact for the quality of life program, quality of life plan, and the status on that.
Oh, I know that Dante has been my contact.
Dante, plan.
Have you met him
Dante.
before?
I'm not sure, Dante.
He just started and he was, when I talked to him, because they used to be on the agenda and they weren't attending the meeting. So I basically, am I still recording? Oh yeah, I'm still recording. Let me stop recording.
Okay.
Since this is offline.
Recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
Recording has stopped. How about I send you an email? A follow-up
Okay.
so I can finish
Sounds
this.
good.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.